We are here at Popeye's Chicken. They ran out last week. Who ever heard of chicken running out in the South? You don't run out of chicken with some sweet tea. Howdy doodies. This is David Owens with the EBT News Special Report. Good day. This is David Owens with the EBT News Live Broadcast. We are over here at Pole Mill. My name is David Owens with EBT News. So this is a commentary about more in the South. Oh, I guess I do have to take the glove off for a minute, don't I? Here we are. It's been like a week later, and man, this stuff has really got me jacked up. I haven't been able to sleep. Actually, I was just thrown into it, seriously. I had a friend of mine that seen my social media pages, because most of it, what I do is I do community events. So all that was what I was doing before any of this acting. I would volunteer and do stuff within the community, and I started just networking and getting to know people throughout the community as the years went. So a friend of mine that is a director of I think it's Spring Baptist Church over there. I don't want to get the name wrong because they might get me. But anyway, it was for just a simple church play. So, I was like, okay, it sounds like fun. So I did it. Everybody loved my part. And from there, I built it, an audience of marketing myself into acting, sort of. Because I just thought it was fun. It's just something, for me, it's something fun to do. It's not something right now. As my career gets a little bit more, it's not something like I'm dependent upon. So that's why I'm getting my master's degree. But I like it.
Have you always thought of yourself as an entertainer, even at a very young age?
No, I would have to say definitely not. For the most part of my life, I was very shy. I was an introvert, so I wouldn't really speak to anybody. Matter of fact, up until I was in the almost third grade, they thought I was deaf. Yeah, I learned sign language and everything because they had me in there because they didn't think I could hear. I just didn't have anything to say to anybody.
I would always thought you was an extrovert. You saying you're an introvert?
I am. I had to make myself this way because when you go through life, period, at some point, I think honestly, I was probably around 30, 35 when I really became more vocal.
Now, a lot of people out there who are introverts will find this story intriguing because anybody who knows you will automatically think you're extrovert because you have a big, colorful personality. Is everything always in a happy light? Do you look at everything in a happy light?
Not until probably the last, I'm going to say probably 10 years. Before then, when you grow up poor and in the South, come from a poor family. We were picked on, there was just a lot of things. And I saw the worst of humanity. So, honestly, I really didn't like anybody. In the beginning, growing up, I had maybe one or two friends. That was it. I never got close to anybody because of the way people treated other people, which is why now I truly believe that people should be treated in a kind way. And this doesn't matter. I live in Pole Mill in Greenville, and the thing that I see the most is how people react or treat other people, and it shouldn't be like that. So I use my past experience now to give me strength to show kindness and speak to other people that maybe won't speak to anybody else.
How important is it for you that connection? Because you say you started out introvert. Do you still consider yourself introvert?
I do, but I make myself. Think of it as acting or a trained skill that you learn. You learn how to do it. I think there's a lot of people in this world that hold back because of fear, because of being an introvert, or it could just be a number of reasons. Maybe they're just very shy, and I think that's probably why I'm decent, not good, but decent at acting, is because that does come into play. When I walk into a room of people, because of what I do now. Even on set, community events, I walk in and I own the room. So no one ever thinks about, oh, David's shy and quiet. No. So, yeah. When I get home, this is my quiet space.
Everywhere you go, or at least I think everywhere you go, you tend to draw a crowd or appear to look like you're part of the crowd. Do people gravitate towards you?
That's going to be a hard question to answer. I'm not going to say anybody would ever gravitate towards me. When I go, okay, let me put out this. When I first started, nobody wanted to take a selfie. Nobody wanted, to interact because they didn't know me. I've learned different people. This again, where all this comes into play. Different people are so different. You have to be able to come and walk into a room, feel comfortable no matter what the situation is. Find a commonality with that person. Even if they're shy, get with them. Even if they're loud, get with them. Each person is such a different individual. It's almost like it's not, I don't know how to, you have to make a personal connection. Most people go in to try to impress everybody, try to be something they're not. And so, everybody will put on this show. That's not who they are. So when I walk in, I actually really talk to that person. That person at that moment, that one person is who I'm talking to. So when I walk into a group now, I know each individual one and I greet them in a different way. And people never notice little sly things. I know who to hug, who to shake hands with, what I can say, how I can act. You just have to know that person and what makes them feel comfortable. You have to respect other people's personal space. I think that's the best way to put it.
So in essence, you're saying you pretty much have to feel the room.
You do, but not just feel the room. Feel the individual within the room. Everybody wants to feel the room, but you have to concentrate on the individuals as they are, even if they're in a group. Each one of them is different.
You have over 1,600 followers on Instagram. Did you know that?
No, I don't. I quit paying attention. Even though I post all the time, I just really don't pay attention that much to. I used to. Now on Facebook, it used to bother me. I'm like, oh, who done unfriended me now? But now, if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. You got to be happy regardless. So my audience has stayed around. Well, on Facebook, Instagram, I just used it to go to Facebook. But around 3,500. I don't want 5,000 people. I don't want people I don't know, that's just going to be sitting there on my personal Facebook page. So you just have to, again, know your audience. And most of these people, out of that many, I know about probably, I think we all do, probably around 15, 20,000 people. But I'm very picky about what audience I want on my social media pages.
Do you have any idea how many pictures you may have posted on your social media?
Unfortunately, I do. It's probably, the last count was like 300,000 or something. So
300,000.
all that's within since 2012.
How did that happen? Is it wherever you go, you tend to want to get pictures?
Everybody looks at my pictures and they think selfie. They don't think logically like I do. That pictures are a form of marketing. And you're introducing that person, and you're introducing this event. You're introducing everything that you go to a new audience. I've been involved in probably in upstate around 40 organizations. I've been involved in several independent films, different things. I'm involved with a lot of different things. And the reason I do that for a purpose, to introduce, to a different audience. Everywhere I go, when I walk and go into an event, whether it be here in Greenville, Atlanta, Charlotte, wherever, I want to end up having normally about 10 to 20 people want to friend me on Facebook or add me on Instagram, without me having to really say anything. And you do that because you want to make a connection. If you don't feel that connection, don't add them. It's simple.
I want to return back on the event you was part of. You remember when Popeyes ran out of chicken, and you did your EBT news inside of
Popeyes. Yeah.
the time you ran out of chicken?
I went with a friend of mine, Aaron, which is DJ Superman, which is a plug. And me and him, we went. And, we just he thought it would be funny because the line was so long. So at that time, we didn't really know they ran out of chicken. So I get that because, in the South, we all love some fried chicken. And I am promoting fried chicken. It's the vegetable of the South. So we get up there and, we walk in. All these people are looking because, I got my little microphone, got Aaron there. We just have little cell phones, doing a little thing. We get there and then we walk in. This line is ridiculous. Go to churches, people. Popeyes is not that good. Some of it is, but we went up there and I was like, I don't want to stay. But they drove, so I didn't have a choice. So we were standing in line and Aaron was like, go ahead, do your thing. So I met some really great people while doing that little EBT news segment. And I just started talking to people. I'm like, how do you think about these people up in here not having no fried chicken and this is the South? Oh, everybody was going off. Now, this is where the people skills and connectability come in. Some of these people were very shy. Remember, I didn't know any of these people but the ones I went with, which was only 2. So I'm here talking with these people and personality. I just started laughing about everything. Just being funny but not disrespectful. There was a few shy people that was just like sitting back. I got them actually in there, and so that again, it all comes to connectability to an individual.
But the way you describe it, a person will have to have a certain thing about them to be able to do that. What about the people who are shy, who need to come out, who have creativity and needs to expand their brand, but wouldn't take bold steps like you took when you were at Popeyes? How do you? How can they become what you did?
I'm really going to say you're going to have to face your fears. Okay, people are either going to like you or they're not going to like you. Point blank simple. Do you really care and you're still paying a bill of yours if they like you or not? No. So walk into a room, introduce yourself. It's hard because when you first walk up to people, when I first started doing this 7 years ago, it was hard. I honestly did not particularly care for people, did not want to talk to people. I was a hermit. I went to work, see my mom. Don't bother me. There's like a sign around my neck. And then one day, I was just saying crazy stuff. And then these people reacted to that. And then they started talking to me. Then I started talking about my ideas and stuff. Then they started reacting to that part of my personality. So it's not all about comedy. I just use humor to a degree to break the ice.
What are some of your biggest challenges?
Well, you asked, and I'm going to be honest about it. Biggest challenge is going someplace and you feel uncomfortable. When I say that, there might be people there that don't like you, or people there that you may not like. Or you may be in, I went to an event here recently for a friend of mine. It was nothing but all straight men. All they talked about was marriages and how real men feel with a woman, which is nothing wrong with that. Hey, do your thing. I went, I wanted to observe. It was a learning experience for me. At this particular event, I took very few selfies. I sit back, shut my mouth. I watched, I listened, and I learned. So it's overcoming, because when I use the word uncomfortable, it doesn't mean I'm uncomfortable to the sense where it's disrespectful uncomfortable. It's just an uncommon thing for me to go into a room and it was men that I didn't know except for, a few of the guys. But I had to advocate myself because I wanted to learn. So I went, even though that may not be my thing, you have to do that everywhere you go. You have to make your own self comfortable some way, even if you feel uncomfortable, if that makes sense. I sit back with my head up, listened, looked around. Even though I was like, I want to go, I stayed because I knew I needed to learn something. So I don't know how to explain it. It's a learned skill. You have to start out, figure out what's your groove, what is your niche to speak to people. So you got to think of it in a totally different way. Instead of being so introvert, you got to flip that mind around. You can still be an introvert, know when to do that.
measure your success?
If you want to call it success, me living up here in Poe Mill, let's see.
A lot of people do like small successes. They set a goal and they meet it. How do you do that?
Everybody's probably gonna laugh. Everything I've done, people said I could not do. Acting, I'm working on my master's degree, like I said. Everything in the beginning, people said I couldn't do it. And you know what? I would go home and I would cry. Seriously, as a grown man, I would go home and cry and feel so defeated. Because they're like, oh, well, you got a background record from 15, 20 years ago. You can't do this. You can't do that. I had to teach myself how to fight. If anyone wants any measure of success, you have to make it happen. Even when you got 1,000 people behind you that say you can't do it. You have to make yourself do it. And, it's not being egotistical or it's not being mean. It's not being anything. Now, the same people that dismissed me and said I would be nothing, we're friends. And you know what? Because I don't hold it against them. Just because you don't believe in somebody else, you should never squash their dreams, which comes back to why now I always encourage everybody, no matter what you're doing. Hey, I'm happy for you. You was jobless. You got a job at McDonald's. I'm not going to laugh at you. I'm going to say, hey, I'm glad for you. People never look at that point of it. They always try to down. But then when you get somewhere, they want to like, oh, that's my friend over there. That's David. Oh, no, you can't be doing that. But instead of calling them out, it all goes back around. Be nice, even to your enemies. So,
right. Can you list the accomplishments you achieved up until now?
Ooh, I'm gonna keep this short because I think, even though on social media it looks like I'm, boasting and bragging, I'm not. So this is plain for everybody. What I'm doing is trying to encourage people. I have a background record. It used to be 4 or 5 pages long. When I first went to college, I went for a medical degree. They said, no, you can't do that. And I was just like, heck yeah. At first, like I said, I was crying and stuff. Then I finally just slapped myself in the face mentally, and I did it. I went to Georgia by myself through my school. They sent me. I found a place. It was the god-awfulest hotel you would ever want to be. Drugs, everything else that goes with that. I'll just put it like that because, keep it PG for the audience. But it was hard. I did a month in Georgia by myself with nobody to get this done. I met some amazing friends down there, though. So I got 3 associate degrees. The first one was medical assistant. Second one was business. The third one was IT. In between all that, I started volunteering, which is how I'll get to that. But anyway, I did that. So I did all that in under 5 years. 3 different associate's degrees at 3 different fields in under 5 years. And then I started doing my online bachelor's degree in business administration. Now working on my master's degree in business administration. I have been awarded by the Greenville Chamber Division of Diversity and Inclusion, which is no small measure. I love the Greenville Chamber. I love Dr. Nika White. I've been awarded by Latinos United, and they are a Greenville-based, organization to help, Latinos in the community, to overcome and to spread education. And Elvia Pacheco and all the Latinos United, they awarded me. That's no small accomplishment. And the thing is, you got to fit where you can go. And I fit in every, I'll give you African American, Caucasian, Hispanic, gay, straight, whatever, a Jewish Christian. You got to be able to accept other people's culture and go in. With that being said, I'm also a Toastmaster, a competent Toastmaster. I've been in 4 independent films. So far, 5 TV shows, 1 commercial, 2 plays, and then I got a lot more coming up. I actually got a national movie road coming up, which I will be announcing pretty soon. So I'm very excited because I started out as nothing.